Hey, everybody. Okay.
Okay.
Testing the microphone over here.
Okay. Testing the microphone over here.
There we go.
Okay. Testing the microphone.
Sorry about that, folks. For some reason, this microphone doesn't want to work well with the phone I want to use. Stuff happens, right? Okay. So I've got 4 dead pinfish out. They were supposed to be live, but they decided, well, my flow troll bucket, which was tied with paracord to the dock, got swept away last night and had pinfish in there for bait, but they became beach logged. Now they're dead pinfish, but they're still fresh, so that's good. And I had the other stream going, but people couldn't hear me on the microphone when I was away from the phone, which sucked. So I'm trying to catch some more live pinfish. Yeah, I got 2 PC Fun Alios 400s and I've got 2 Pin Spinfisher 6 live liners. The Spinfishers are both on Spinfisher rods they were combos. I got them for, I don't want to admit to this, like $100 for the rod and the reel is usually close to 200. And the PC Funs are both on Anvil extra heavy baitcast rods. Oop, I just got to had somebody want to play on the pinfish rod. I get him. Nope, little bait Steve. And I'm using a sabiki rig for the pinfish rod. And I'm using some shrimp that I bought loaded up with salt. Use non-iodized salt. Iodine is not good for fish. And that toughens them up and preserves them so you don't have to keep them in the refrigerator. Which, of course, makes them last longer and all that kind of fun stuff. Let's see. Normally, I cut these sabiki rigs down to 3 hooks, and I should have done it on this one because 6 is a lot of hooks to keep baited. And sometimes I pull up doubles. So you can pull up a triple once, but anyway. So last night, man, it was nasty out here. I did a video short as we were coming across, trying to get on I-10 as we came across, I think I-165, but I may be wrong on that. And they had to close the ramp because water was coming over the ramp. So we had to go a little further down. The waves were crashing against the seawall and coming up over. Ashley's dad is doing some repairs on the house, minor stuff, and teaching her kids the concept of measure twice, cut once. It's kind of funny because I am a fan of the measure 0 times, cut too short the first time. Start all over again. So, nice to see them being taught right. It was funny, like the first time he's like, what's the reading on this? A little less than 5 inches. Like, what's a little less than 5 inches? Not quite 5 inches. No. What's the exact number? And Ashley is out on like a 20 or 25 mile run. She was going through the route. She's like, I'm going to need somebody to pick me up. I'm like, well, why don't you just adjust your route so you can come straight, run back here? And she was like, well, because I want to go all the way out to this place, and then I want to cross over into Alabama so I can do that. And then my truck will end me at Floribama. I'm like, okay. I said, so why don't you just extend your run? Because I want to stop for refreshments. I'm like, okay, I can appreciate that. I can feel the little pinfish down there pecking on it. Come on. Did I get him? No. And I'll go over here. Thank you guys for watching. Please do hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. I'm not even going to say that you need to like the stream to hit the thumbs up. Just do it, Get in the habit. That way when you find a stream you do like, you'll already have the muscle memory. So, Caden, what kind of new stuff have you gotten lately, buddy? I don't think I've seen anything posted by you lately. Now, I will admit I don't watch shorts. So, if you've been doing shorts, that would explain why I haven't seen anything. Or maybe YouTube took away the notification bell again. I don't know. What have I got? Looks like a pinfish, I do believe. Oh, no. This is one of those white trout I was talking about. And if Gig is in here, he could tell me I'm wrong. Come here, Bubba. I'll know for sure. Come here. It is not a white trout because it does not have the teeth. What is this? What is that? Is it a croaker? Whatever it is. Where are my pliers? Oh. Come here, Bubba. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It is a white trout. I can see he doesn't have the teeth up there, but I can see where they were. Little white trout, white sea trout, is what I believe. There's his fins. Got a little bit of yellow. Yeah, the yellow is going to make, yep. And then the lateral line kind of does this thing. So anyway, I believe they're unregulated. I believe I could probably have used it for bait, but found out something last night I did not know. Thank goodness I didn't learn the hard way. Bluefish. So I went out with a guide my first time beach fishing. And sorry, I'm digging through my little box of gadgets here. And we caught a bluefish, and he told me that, they're an oily fish. Most people don't eat them, which I took to mean bait. And I think he even said he was probably going to, he said he was just going to keep it if I didn't want it. And I was like, okay. And I assumed he was going to use it for bait. So I assumed you could use them for bait. As it turns out, they are a land hole species. which means that you have to, if you're out on the boat, you can't cut the head or tail off until you get back to the shore, which I assume means you also can't use them for bait. I couldn't find anything one way or the other that said you can or cannot, but if it's regulated, I just can't imagine. I did see that for most species that are regulated, at least, you cannot do that. You can't use, like, even the heads, right? And I understand that. I mean, I wish I could use the heads of, for instance, like freshwater crappie, the head is useless. You caught the fish, you took the meat off of it. Why have to throw the head out? Well, you actually don't have to throw the head out. You can use the head as bait in a lot of places, but it has to still be attached to the tail. That way they can make sure that it was legal fish, because they want to know the full length of it. And that's fair, I guess. But who wants a scraped carcass when all you want to use is the head? But getting a couple little bites here. Oh, there's a pinfish. So pinfish, have, at least last night, they were funny. They will sit here and do this whole jumping around like there's no tomorrow. But then as soon as you touch them, they just stop. It's kind of neat. All right. I believe there's some water in there. Yeah, there's water in there. Good. Now I'll have a live pinfish for bait. And there's my sabiki rig. See, only one piece of shrimp still left on there. And this one got all boogered up. I apologize for not watching chat. I will be back to doing that. But I'm just trying to catch a little bit of bait here real quick. Now, because of how the storms were, everything is really, the water's all churned up. And that will take most of the species we're after. I'll put them in hiding. What I hear down here is what you're going to catch when when the water is all churned up is catfish. Which is funny that we have so many people that fish for catfish in freshwater, but you get down here to saltwater and they're like, oh, catfish are nasty. They have two types. They have hardtails, which are, they look a lot like channel cats. And then you have the gaff-top sail cats. And they're actually a very pretty fish. They, you know how the fancy guppies have the long fins? Well, that's what they look like. They look like catfish with long fins. A very pretty fish. And they're actually supposed to be decent eating. But we shall see. Also, another reason why I try to cut these, I usually cut these sabiki rigs down to 3 is because these hooks get tangled so gosh dang easy. That one going to come off the line at all? There we go. Scotty, you so mean to me. I'm hoping to get monetized. So last year when I came out fishing down here in Pensacola, my numbers spiked. My view hours especially. I'm up to 2,300 hours now. It'd be nice if this week got me up to partial monetization, but that's a big ask for a week. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me. I was amazed how many people are live today already. There's something down there pecking at my bait. If you think bluegill peck, oh man, pinfish are worse. Uh-oh. Is that the wind? I think my second rod was... Yep, second rod's getting a little bit of action. Lay my bait rod down. We'll see what we get off of this. Oh, now my third rod wants to go. And then a fish jumps just to let me know that I suck at fishing. Guess I shouldn't stand in front of the rod. Guys might want to see the only action I'm gonna get today. So I did that short live stream yesterday as we were going through some of the storms, because before that had been, I mean, just beautiful lightning. You know, it's always beautiful if you're not in it. And so I did that, and her oldest is in the back seat talking about how we're doxing ourselves, and I'm like, we are on an interstate in the middle of Mississippi. Well, they're going to know you're right. It's a public interstate, bro. Apologize. Then later when I did that short, while I was recording it, him and his mom were talking, and I'm sitting there multiple times during it. I said, just so y'all know, I am recording this. And then when I went to post it, he was like, I don't want to be on there. I was like, man, I told you the whole time that I was recording it. He got super defensive. No, you did not. I'm like, I did. And I said, but, you know, if it bothers you, no big deal. I'll just, edit the sound out of it. And I had done that, but I went and played the original back so he could hear me say it. And he's like, if you post that, I am going to get you. I'm going to report it. I'm like, report what, bro? The fact that I told you you're being recorded and you kept yapping anyway? It's really frustrating because I even looked at him and said, I don't know what kind of weird power flex this is, but it ain't working. But, you know, it's the whole, he's 17, he's about to graduate. He's having the power struggle of, you know, he's used to it being him and mama. And, you know, he goes to his dad's house. I mean, he's used to his dad too, but he's not used to somebody who's not a parent, a biological parent, being in his life. And if you guys have never dated anybody with kids, you do not understand the very, very, very fine line that you have to walk. Because, you know, they're not your kids, but you still, you know, you want to Mama says hey. There's nothing on it. Look, took the gut pocket out. Doesn't feel like catfish at all, does it? What bait am I using? Hey, Zenith. I am using dead pinfish right now. They were live until my flow troll bucket that was attached with paracord got detached. The line broke, but look, fortunately it went to the shore, and I did find it. Caden, you talking about Cindy's live, or you talking about mine? I've been going live a lot, much as I can, because I am down here to fish. Let's see what I can do with this trash bag. Trying to be a good steward of the environment and have a trash bag out here, but boy, it's making a racket. Find somewhere else to put it, so it doesn't catch quite as much of the wind. It's funny because for kids, there's an arcade down here, like a retro arcade, and they love going to that. And her oldest was like, so for spring break, are we going to go? We should go down Pensacola. And Ashley's like, she wasn't sure what she wanted to do. She's like, because to her, this is not as special as it is to me, because they used to come on family vacations down here a lot. And it's funny because her oldest was like, yeah, I'd like to go down there for, see my grandparents and everything. She's like, you really just want to go to the arcade? And yeah. And when we got engaged, I was doing keto at the time, and he's like, we should go out and celebrate, go out to dinner and celebrate. It's like, okay. Said, you have anything in mind? He's like, yeah, this ramen place. It was like, so you don't really care about the engagement, you just wanted to go eat ramen. He's like, yeah. But he's a funny kid. I'm like, well, it's a good gesture anyway. That was weird because he pulled the second line first. And then he went to the third line. And then came back to the second line. Whether it's the same fish or not, I can't tell you, but. Oh, I should say second from the right, because, we all read from right to left here. Got my bait rod out. I'm trying to see if I can't come up with some more live pinfish. So far I have a pinfish, and I have a white trout. The white trout went back. He was too small to even consider eating, and a little too big for bait. I am live streaming, just so you know. Doesn't mean you can't talk. Just yeah, I've caught one pinfish and one white trout, and I had something take off, but it ate the gut pocket out of one of the dead pinfish, and my flow troll broke off overnight from that red rope, but fortunately it was up there, and they were still fresh. Not alive, but fresh. And this is the second little leg sinker I pulled off your dock.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently people are, well, you know, everybody fishes and then, you know, they catch the dock sometimes. I always try to go back and if I can get my hook off, I do, because I don't want somebody's grandkids coming out and stepping on a hook. I was surprised how clear it is. I mean, I could see, you know, a couple of feet up there. Yeah, but I mean, after last night, I was thinking it was going to look like the Mississippi River. There's a fish. What we got? What do we have? What do we have? Come here, sunshine. Pinfish. Yeah, I've always been worried. I was sitting there. I've been trying to figure out a good way to hook the rigs up without having to worry about them getting wet and unretrievable. And I was sitting there. I was thinking before I left, I'm like, well, what can I buy? What can I buy? I'm like, I got this sitting here. Like, yeah, that'll work. That'll work. And it's pretty solid in there. Ashley and I both have these smartwatches. And we'll compare them out dancing. Going, look, I hit my steps today. She's like, that's great. You hit your 5,000. I'm at 37 because she ran that day or something. And I just hit my activity timer. I'm like, I've literally walked from the house to the dock a couple of times. That's my activity. Wow.
I've been trying to do about 4 or 5 miles a day with hand weights.
I try not to drive 4 or 5 miles a day.
Man, I've been either 4 or 5, depending on how busy I am or how tired I am. But I try to hit 5. I don't have too much time. I'll do 4.
I'm impressed with how well Ashley has done with her running. She's really gotten committed to it, and not that she wasn't before, but I mean she's really. It is high on her list of priorities.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. Another pinfish. They have that little black dot on them. Uh-oh. That had to be one of the spin fishers. It sounded like the right one. See if he comes back for more. Missed him. Yeah. Had one earlier, hit this one, then went to that one, and then came back to that one. Gave it a good run, but I didn't turn him into a fish. I figured it's catfish because with all the stirring up of the water, that seems to run a lot of the other fish off. But I'm still looking for whatever has broken me off a couple of times.
Well, I'm gonna fix some chicken tacos a little bit.
Awesome.
30 minutes to get that off.
Awesome.
Jack just had something actually gone. We'll do one pack to two.
Okay. Okay, and I don't know if Cindy answered. If she did not answer, and you were asking about her going live later, they usually do a family dinner on Sunday. It's usually, I want to say, about 6 o'clock Central when they go live, if I remember correctly. I will be back to chat here in a minute and just drop another bait line, see if I can come up with another pinfish. That, I see it. Again, you dropped it. You need to decide what you want out of life, buddy. And line slack. Let's see if there's anything on it. Nope. See if it comes back for it. I think they know I'm over here pin fishing. They're here, let's distract him. I'm hoping to get out and do some surf fishing this week too, if that interests anybody. I mean, I'm hoping to do it whether it interests anybody or not, but definitely interests me. Yeah, they got all my bait off the pinfish rod anyway, so sit down and pay attention to chat for a minute. Kevin, it's okay to watch me in sunshine and shorts. I look good in these shorts. Okay, maybe I'm lying. Good to see you, my friend. Use a fillet of finfish. What not? You're funny, Hitch. So I'm using the no knot snell, and then I'm using the trilene knot to the leader on both ends. And I think I found a new favorite knot, but I'd already tied all these rigs. And I'm sure you know this knot very well, Hitch. The egg loop knot, which basically starts off at life its life as a no-knot snail, but then you create the egg loop, and I don't care about the egg loop. What I care about is the fact that it then ties the standing end to the line, to the hook. It keeps it tight so that it can't come unraveled. I don't know, man. Pinfish, there's a reason. There's a reason they're called pinfish. I believe they're pretty bony. Of course, they also have those giant spikes on their back. Hey, Tara, good to see you. Good to see you. A filleted pinfish. Well, so Gig, what happened last night is I caught, I don't know, 6 or 7 of these pinfish. And then I had them in a flow troll bucket tied to the dock with paracord. And it was gone this morning. I found it up on the shore, so it had the pinfish still in it. They were no longer with us, but they aren't nasty. So I put them out as I tried to catch some more live. I've got 2 or 3 live ones in there now. Also caught a white trout. I didn't recognize it because it didn't have its giant incisors, but I found the nubs where they used to be. Apparently, these things break off their teeth regularly, but he wasn't big enough to use as to eat, and he was a little too big for bait. And Gig, I'm sure you know the answer to this. Can you use bluefish parts for bait? I believe that the answer is no. But I found that out last night. 100,000 pinfish a night. That's a lot of pinfish. That's like my IQ plus 99,999. And for those who didn't hear it before, if you think bluegills are little peckers, whew, pinfish, peck, 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 peck. I used some red worms last night to catch them. And then I went to the store and got some shrimp, and I salted it down with non-iodized salt, and it toughens them up pretty good. So I'm using little pieces of that today to catch more pinfish. So both of the right 2 rods have both had significant runs. But the second from the right has had a couple of significant runs. When I pulled it in the first time, something had eaten the gut pocket. But I threw it back out there for giggles. Pull it in, check, see if I even have any bait left on it. Yep, there's still bait left on it. Looks about the same as he did. I'm assuming that's... Well, actually, that looks like something a turtle would do. I don't know. But you say fillet him, I'll fillet him. I ain't picky. Oh, well, I went to fillet him and his head came off. We'll do a head piece first. And yeah, I do see rod number 3 just got some love. I don't know why. Rod number 2. We're going from left to right. That's how we read in this in America. And this may be the first look at the Gulf of America for some of you guys. So, welcome to America. And this one was in fact fishing on credit. We'll go get one of those fillets. So there's my filet. It's funny because Ashley's parents live in Louisiana. They was talking about gumbo. They were talking about gumbo last night and talking about filet and stuff. And I'm like, filet of what? No, filet. It's not a filet. It's filet. They're not like they don't speak Cajun. Ashley's dad was out here early. Probably heard. They're transplants. It is funny when you hear a Cajun though, because I love the dialect. It takes some listening to kind of understand what they're saying, but and gig I did good. As far as I cast doubt, this is still mono here. I haven't even reached the braid yet. So I have good shock leaders on all these with the FG knot. I did bring a 15-foot rod. And I'm planning to go surf fishing. Second rod is getting love. That's the head that I put out just a minute ago. We got him. These are circle hooks 5/0 for those who care. It feels like a catfish rolling. It is. Hard head. So for those who don't know, and there's a lot of saltwater people who don't seem to understand how to handle a catfish. So you come in under the belly. You come in under both of these fins. As a kid, I used to go over the top and just fold the top fin down. You can do that. Because once you fold the dorsal fin down, he's not coming back up. And see, I mean, they look just like channels without the spots. And they've got good girth to them right here. And I did get spined by a gaff top sailcat last time I was here. And you listen to these saltwater guys, no offense, Gig, they make it sound like if you get spined, you're gonna be dead. Oh my God, they're poisonous, they're venomous, I got stung by one and it hurt for 17 years. I still can't walk after getting stung in the finger by it, stuff like that. Okay, maybe I'm being a little melodramatic. But I mean, they talk like it's a stingray hit, It isn't any worse than freshwater cats. Rub a little slime on it, and whether it's an old wives' tale, it doesn't work or not, I still do it and it works. So, officially not skunked. Not only do I have bait fish, I have almost a catfish. And I've heard different opinions on the edibility of hardheads. Most people will tell you they're the nastiest thing out there, but I don't know how they're trying to cook them. I don't know if they're trying to cook them like you cook a freshwater cat, where you just, roll it in cornmeal till it's happy and eat the cornmeal. Right rod. 4 jet skis, and I left my gun at the house. Gosh, dog it. Although, as long as they stay out of my way, I don't care what they do. So when they want to come over and visit and show me their pretty jet ski, that I don't care about their little activities. Like, I don't need somebody to show off to me. But Luke from Catfish and Carp, he and his family came down to Florida a few years back. And he ate some hardheads. He said, they ain't bad. They not really any different than freshwater cats. Nothing, nothing overly exciting, but you know. Uh-oh. I think that was the right rod again. Now, all these are on drag. These are bait runners. The drag is set fairly low. Actually, it's on the lightest of the 3 drag settings on the rear drag. And of course, my bait catchers, the IOS 400s, and they have clickers on them. So this one still has a headpiece on it, and this one has the fillet like Gig told me to do. So, either case, the fish are liking what they're seeing. Again, I may only catch catfish today with all the storms that came through and stirring up of water. And the intracoastal is never as clean as the Gulf is. Right on the other side, straight ahead, is the Gulf. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff on one side, a road, and then a little bit of stuff, and then you're back. Then you're actually in the Gulf. I did leave the kayak at home because I've been having a problem with my left leg and wasn't sure how good my swimming capabilities would be if I needed them. And of course, the storm coming. And Ashley was like, we got here last night. She's like, I'm so glad we did not bring the kayak on that trailer. Because she said the truck was getting blown around pretty good when she was driving. But she did like that V8. She's got a hybrid SUV. And we got to one of those areas, where I was like, well, I need to be in the right-hand lane and exit. And I'm in the middle lane. What do? And I was like, well, when the light turns green, you hit it. She's like, will I outrun this Ranger? I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll be outrunning that Ranger. You don't worry about it. She's like, ooh, I like this. Another pinfish. So they have these front dorsal fin. Oh, they will spike you good. I can't show on camera what I want to try on these, but I did see a video. I do want to try this method. And what they did was they cut off all the fins, and then they cut the tail right in front of the base of the tail, and then hooked it right there in the base of the tail where they cut off. Or right past where they cut off, I guess we're trying to say. And that way, it puts scent in the water. The fish is doing its struggling thing, but it's not able to drag your sinker anywhere because it doesn't have enough power to do anything. And then they cut off the other fins because they figure it looks more appetizing to something that knows how those pins feel in the roof of the mouth. I did buy a couple of crab nets, and I got the metal ones. Next time I go up the house, I'll bring them down. And basically, you just put a piece of bait in the net, tie it to the net, wait a little while, pull it up, see if you got anything. Because I have actually picked up a blue crab on one of my baits here. Last time I was here, when we got to the top of the water, it was like deuces and left, but I'm like, what is this on this bait? And I'm like, oh, that's a blub. He's gone. Because it would have handled it different if I realized what it was earlier. There's another pin. And I found a channel out of Louisiana. It's Cajun Girl Outdoors. Sweet little girl. And but she definitely Cajun. She definitely not a girly girl. And she took her son out. Another little pinfish. To do some crabbing. And what they do is they tie a chicken leg to a piece of like white twine. They throw it out. And when they feel the crab start walking off with it, they just kind of pull him in slowly. And once they see you, they'll ditch. But you pull them up almost to the water, to the top of the water, and you scoop the net under. And then they kind of like fall into the net. I thought that was really cool. So, of course, I stay in the catfish community a lot. But if you're looking for other channels, Cajun Girl Outdoors is a good one. Justin Reed, REED Fishing. I am not off of Star Lake Road. Let's see. Looks like a sturgeon rig. Making a lot of noise. Me or the rod? Yep, saltwater cat. Thank you, Gig. Ashley actually got hit by a jellyfish. And we were with her parents and her kids. And I said, well, now's your chance to pee on mom. She's like, no, they've got some ammonia in the boat. And Hitch, even if I were off of Star Lake Road, I wouldn't tell you. I mean, it's not my house. So. And for anybody in this area, you can pretty much figure out where I am real quick. But again, I don't want to dox my future father-in-law. Glacier Shark, I am using pinfish. Right now, dead. So from left to right, I got 2 dead whole pinfish. The third rod has a dead head pinfish. And the right rod has a fillet of dead pinfish. They weren't intending to be dead, but my flow troll broke free overnight and filled with sand and was on the beach this morning. So they didn't have quite the water they were hoping to have. Caught some last night on a sabiki rig using worms as tips. They almost won't hit a sabiki rig without something tipped on them. Shrimp always works. Red worms, turns out, works too. Appreciate all you guys watching. So we've had several pinfish, a sand trout / white trout / apparently also called silver trout. Everything but a sea trout. Everything but a spotted sea trout. They look like the spotted sea trouts, except they don't. Well, they look like them in the 2 fangs in the front, and then 1 hardhead catfish. And Gig, I mean, I was never in the Air Force, so it's not like I'm just going to pee on my hand anyway. Whether I get bit or not, or stung. That's a bad joke. I don't mind. This third rod, the yellow one, anvil. Chartreuse, yellow, green, I don't care what you want to call it. It just had a little bit of a dip. But they all are on clickers. See, told you. Although my second one may not be on a clicker. It's supposed to be. It looks like maybe I didn't set it right or something. Nope. Now it is. There's a fair amount of slack in this second rod. I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. I felt bad. I've left stuff here every time I've come, like rods and stuff, and I didn't know what I had here. So I packed. My back was turned, you know that. So I packed a bunch of stuff. I'm sure my Ashley's dad was like, bro, you think you're moving in or what? But it was just I didn't want to get down here and not have what I wanted to have. So this third one, it's slack again. I'm not worried about it being slack. I figure if he wants to take a run, he can take a run. They are on Carolina rigs with pyramid sinkers. And he's about to pull. So I'm engaged the reel, and he's pulling again. I pulled a little bit there. This is the one with the headpiece on it. I just moved it a very little bit to see if that's going to do it. I'm not sure how good that headpiece was on there, because that's what the first catfish was caught on. So it's possible that he is. Oop, nope. There was a little tug. Something's out there playing with it. I guarantee it's another little hardhead. And if it's not a hardhead, I'll refund your money for watching the show. Everything you paid. There we go. Got him. I don't feel him rolling like, yeah, there he's rolling. I forgot to bring my Sharpie so I could mark fish. I'm so funny. So again, for anybody who missed it before, you come in from the belly side. You go under his fins, his pecs. And now he's taking a crap everywhere. Hope he didn't get me. There he is. Bye, buddy. Hard heads too, Mike. Well, 2 hard heads. Let me go grab the other half of this pinfish. So Gig told me to fillet him, so I did. The boneless fillet on the right one, and this is the boned fillet on the left one, which is just the other half. We'll hook him down towards the tail. Try to get in the bones there and keep a lot of the hook exposed. Using 5/0. These are those 3X strong offshore angler hooks. Whoa! And that was my demonstration of how not to cast, in case you didn't catch it. Of course, if you didn't catch it, even better for me. The bail, effectively the bail closed. Not a spinning reel, so there's that. This one alive? Yeah, this one's alive. I can find my bait shears. So I have him hooked in the tail. And right behind where I have him hooked, I'm going to cut off most of the tail. Not on camera. The fins. Got most of the fins off. I got the offensive fins off. And this will allow him to move around a whole lot, let off a lot of scent. But not be able to drag the sinker around. So we did get some hits on, a little bit of a hit on this one earlier. Just going to check, make sure he didn't take the fillet with him. Fishing on credit. The fishing on the credit. I don't fish very well, but when I do, I'm fishing on credit. So I cut this one in 3 pieces like I did the last one. Got one boneless fillet, one bone fillet, and then the head. So we'll throw the head out there and see what happens. Whee! So the one on the right now has the live fish, and this third one has the headpiece. I'm gonna check these other two because it doesn't make any sense. Well, it's a good thing because I thought I crossed, but I hadn't. You know, you still got the whole fish on there. Let me fillet him a little bit. Come here. Fillet one side off of him. So it's still the head and the skeleton with meat on one side. Okay, what was that? Sounded like it was this one that went off. Just see if we got, yep, I still got bait on him too. This one's off to the side of the dock. Almost over to the neighbor's dock, actually. I was kind of surprised that the second rod didn't get hit when the other ones have gotten hit, because it was kind of the same area. Read some more chat. Hey, Fishing Hoosier, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, Cindy, I'd tell you to come on down, but Ashley's weird like that. She's like, doesn't want me having other girlfriends and stuff. I don't know. Weird girl. Pensacola Fishing Forum. Tell you where to get silvers nonstop. Now, I'm in the Pensacola Fishing Fanatics group, and man, there are some trolls in there. I mean, I respect a good troll. Hey, Fat Cat. One guy was like, hey, I'm going to be out on Fort Pickens until the surf goes out. Yeah, message me if you want to, go surf fishing. I was like, so I messaged him, and then somebody later posted about how Fort Pickens is closed right now because of the weather, and they'll reassess either tomorrow or Tuesday. And I'm sitting there going, I sent this man a message, and I'm betting he was trolling me. And I'm like, well played, man, well played. And if he's not trolling me, even better. I have a conundrum. For those who don't know, so you've got fishing carts, right? You get the little wagons that a lot of people use for freshwater, and those work fine for what they're for. Well, they have pier carts and surf carts here. And the difference is the tires. So these thin balloon wheels are for the sand here, because it's really fine sand. And pretty much anything else just sinks into the sand when you don't roll it, you pull it. And these roll over the sand. And I can get one of those at Academy for a couple $100. Not the greatest, but it serves my purpose. I actually got the biggest one, the biggest pier cart, the deluxe, I think is what they called it, from Academy, and I returned it because it was too doggone big. I had it in my house. I'm like, I can't even negotiate, between rooms in this thing. It's so freaking huge, which is nice if it stays in your garage and goes in the back of your truck. But part of it was, and it had a little bit of damage to it from shipping. So, so I want to get a pier cart. I can either rent them for $35 a day, $70 for a week, or I can buy one for $200. And so cheapskate me is like, well, just buy one and be done with it. But then I'm gonna need to get some pier tires for it, because the surf tires, like I say, they're thin PVC or something similar, and plastic for all practical purposes. And I just don't think they're going to hold up hitting sticks and stuff. But anyway, that's my conundrum. What a horrible problem to have, right? I don't know if I ever pushed the button back on this one. Nope, I didn't. Now I did. So I'm real thrilled with this rig that I've got down here. So it's not my dock. And so, her dad really doesn't fish much. And he's, proud of what he owns, and I don't begrudge him any bit for that. So, asking him if I can start drilling holes in his dock is not a thing. But, and I wish I made these a little bit bigger even. I got these off Temu. What you do, so it looks like a fish bone, but whatever. So these two little ends, you push it down on between the two boards on the dock and twist. And then this kind of grabs on the bottom of the boards. And you get a little hole here in the top. And I put some eye bolts in that. So that is a rod holder you'd put on your boat. Similar to like what Millennium Marine makes, although it came from Temu for like $60. So I attached it to a couple of 2x4s because it's too wide to fit on a single 2x4 with all the 4 mountain boats. And then put some 1x2s over the top of it and use eye bolts attached to these things to hold those 1x4s down. So now my rods aren't going anywhere until I'm ready to take the rod holder somewhere. So that's like the best of both worlds. I don't damage his dock, but I don't have to worry about my rods not being here because I didn't get there fast enough. Let's see. Red snapper off of Fort Pickens. I know they catch some sheepshead off there. That's one of the 2 jetties in the area. The other one is in Alabama. And that's another fishing license, so no thank you. Although I think the red snapper thing is more of a joke and not a fish, but who knows? Hey, nobody. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You know what I'm going to do before I regret not doing it? Let me grab that little fisheye bolt thing. We'll strap my chair to the fisheye bolt and put the fisheye bolt down here. There we go. Now, while it won't keep my chair from trying to move, it will keep it from going all the way in the water. Because that's one of the problems out here. Stuff ends up in the water. So far today, folks, we've gotten 2 hardhead catfish, gotten some pinfish for bait, and 1 white trout. So on the left rod is a whole dead pinfish. The second one is a filleted with head and one side of the body pinfish dead. The third one is the head of a pinfish, and the fourth one is a live whole finfish. Going from left to right. And if you notice that second rod, it's got the green and the yellow up top. That's actually tape I got off of Amazon. It looks good under a black light. I'm not sure what the longevity of it will be. But I was thinking, you know, if I come out at night, throw that black light down there and light it up pretty good. I have painted some of my rods, but these were a quick, well, I'm taking these with me. Let me see how this works. And from what I'll call him my father-in-law, future father-in-law, if we need to be specific about it. He said he watched the storm last night and looked like everything kind of died right as it hit Mobile, which is just to the west of us. So, you know, the bad parts of the storm. I mean, it was raging out here last night. There was not going to be a good time to try to film. Oh, how is the sound, by the way? Hey, James Bailey. So I'm using my DJI Mic 2 with Dead Cat on it, and I just want to see if you're hearing any of the wind noise or not. I guess I could turn the volume up on this and check myself, but you guys have been here longer than I have. Got 5 people watching, 16 thumbs up. Thank you, everybody. I am on a push for watch hours. I'm trying to get to the 3,000 by the end of this month. Would be really nice. And you guys can't see this, but if you see that boat out there that's going, just to the left of that is, it used to be an island, but enough of the sand blew off that it just is just below the water line. And you can't see it on camera probably, but I can. there's a nice tan line in the water. It's not marked well at all. And it caught a boat last year really good. And Ashley said one year they saw a transom and motor stuck on it. The rest of the boat was gone, but the transom was still there. It's basically the spoils area, which is when they dredge, they have to take the stuff they dredged out and put it somewhere, so they kind of put it on that side. But from what her dad was telling me, that submerged island is actually part of Alabama. There's a couple islands over to the left of it that are Florida. Because it really is, I mean, somewhere in the middle of between here and that first little island is the island to the right, if you can see it, kind of straight ahead to the right, that is Alabama. And then further straight ahead, that is Florida. So the water kind of goes up this bay, about halfway on each side is one state or the other. And then it kind of goes halfway through here and around halfway through the other side until it becomes all Alabama. It's frustrating to be in these type of waters where, you know, literally, you know, if I went out a couple hundred yards, I would be in a different state. I think my left rod just got a pull. I'm not sure. There's a lot of wind blowing, so it's shaking things a little bit. And these all are on clickers, so. The Alios 400 has a really nice clicker. The Spin Fisher's not so much. They're not very loud, but they have rear drag, so, you know, there's that. It's funny, I bought the Spin Fisher 6500s because that was what I was seeing, you know, people using 55s and 6500s for surf fishing. They hold a plethora of buttloads of line, especially when you're using 20-pound braid. I think that was the third rod that time. That was the third rod, and he's taking drag. Turn off the fighting drag, or turn off the whatever that drag is. Give me another run. There we go. We got him, whatever he is. It's headed straight for me. See if it starts rolling like a catfish. It probably is a catfish. Yep, there's the rolling. I can feel it. So hardhead catfish don't get very big. This is the third hardhead. Settle down. Simmer down. Starting to make me sound like Dieter Melhorn. Simmer, simmer, simmer. He's like, you simmer. I'm the one with the hook in my face. There he is. Well, open your mouth so I can get the hook out, Bubba. He's like, no, I paid for that bait. Give me that bait. Give me the hook back, Junior. Let me get the pliers. You are an adamant little sucker, ain't you? Come on. There we go. Hardhead number 3. He got a big firm belly on him. It ain't like he's missed any meals. Yes, I know the irony of that statement. Shut it. Try this headpiece one more time. He kind of ate the good parts out of it. But I'm sure he's still, well, I mean, there's some meat and stuff. It's the, the gills, red stuff, all that. That's not a very good. Try the other way. So 3 hard heads. I want to say all 3 have come off a headpiece. I know 2 of them did. I think that's going to be the right rod holder. No, it looks like I can't tell if they crossed or not. I'm going to go ahead and tie down the tripod before it gets too nasty out here. There. Tied a uni knot on that because it's a good slip knot. Which effectively, the uni knot is the old hangman's noose for all practical purposes. I'll tie it down with a couple of half hitches. Hey Tara, welcome back, dear. Just got rid of my 3rd hard head for the day. Looks like something's playing with the left-hand rod here. And again, we got whole dead pinfish. Pinfish with 1 fillet cut off. Pinfish head, and that one's a live pinfish. I'd love to throw shrimp, but I know better out here because those pinfish will just peck the snot out of shrimp. Her dad cooked chicken last night and several pieces of chicken legs, and I was sitting there going, can I swipe one of those? Used for crab bait? I didn't have the guts to ask. Not like I can't go to the store and buy my own, right? I'm not sure these two are not crossed, but can't see that blue braid at all once it hits, gets a little further away. I do need to take a look at my face and see it, make sure I'm not getting sunburned. My legs look good. My legs are good, and my face will be good. Hey, MVP. How you doing, my friend? Caught 3 hardheads so far. Just kind of sitting out on the dock, having a good day. Hey, Tara, how's the wind noise? I do have a windscreen on my microphone, and I'm hoping that it's working very well. Because if it's not, I'm not sure what to do, but at least I'll know that it's not doing well. Thanks, MVP. Appreciate it. Yeah, MVP, you were live earlier, were you not? I thought I saw a notification as I was getting ready to go. And down here, it's right around 70 degrees, I do believe. Ashley's out on a run. She's, I don't know, 20, 25 miles a day. She's got a 50K, which she may have bumped it up to a 50 miler later this year, and I don't know what else she's got before then. She left around 9. I was thinking it'd take her 5 or 6 hours. She's gonna call me to come pick her up when she's done. She's gonna stop and get a refreshing adult beverage while she waits on somebody to come get her. So for anybody who's never been to Louisiana, Louisiana is an interesting state. They have drive-through daiquiri shops. So what to do is you go, you order your daiquiri at the drive-through. They hand it out the window to you. They put a piece of masking tape over the straw hole in the lid, and that is considered to be sealed by the manufacturer. So that's how they get away with selling alcohol out the drive-through. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit more shorts action. I don't like watching the shorts. By the time I get interested in them, they over, Put out a short yesterday I thought was going to do really well. It did not. It may have been because it was over a minute. Apparently you can do up to like 3-minute shorts now. I don't know why it didn't do well, but I don't care either. Yeah, I'd love to catch a shark. I mean, I'd love to get a hold of a 4 or 5 foot black tip and have some shark steaks for a while. I can't imagine how hard. I mean, that must be a heck of a fight. Yeah, I actually put music behind this one because as soon as I started doing the video, Ashley and her son started talking. I'm like, I'm putting this on YouTube. And he didn't hear me. And he got all mad when I started to upload it. I was like, okay, I'll take the audio out. Who cares? Put some music behind it because I was basically, my purpose in telling them I was recording it was to tell them to shut up. But they didn't get the hint. And Ashley didn't care. See, I look at that boat in front of me and I'm like, that is a big honking boat. And I guess technically it's a yacht. And I guess you could fish off the back of it. And I mean, I guess it's cuddy cabin or whatever. But I either want something I can live on or something I can fish on or both. But if I'm going to live on it, I want to be a little bigger than that. And since I can't afford a little bigger than that, I don't get it. I don't get it. And they've even got a little dinghy on the back. In case you cover up his little dinghy before somebody sees it. Kind of reminds me of RVs towing little cars. Like, well, I don't. When we get where we're going, we don't be driving this big honking thing everywhere. My problem is every time I come out here, I get sunburned the first day or two. You'd think I'd learn. I don't. Because even just the reflection off the water can get you sunburns. Pretty good ones too. Don't ask me how I know. I'm gonna go wash off a little bit, put some sunscreen on. Because I'll regret not doing it if I don't. I will show you guys something that I got off Temu that I like. So, I don't know, I think it was like $6 or so. So you got, it's a little roll-up bag. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pockets. So one of these has something in it. Weights, I think. Yeah, this one's got some weights in it. Got a flashlight for now. Got fish grips in one. I'll keep my pliers in one. There's my fish grips. And then still have one available. And that, it's a nice little roll-up bag, like a tool roll-up. And you close it up. And that'll be something good for me to take with me. Oh, bait shears also go in there. You know, when you get to leave a house, because the problem is I do different kind of fishing. If you have a boat, a fishing boat, it's great because, you know, you throw your rods in the rod locker, you have your tackle bag, tackle boxes, you know, you can organize it the way you want. But when you're a bank fisherman, you don't have that luxury, especially when you're somebody like me that I may go catfishing, I may go crappie fishing, bluegill, whatever. I may go saltwater fishing, and they all have different requirements, right? Different baits, all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm thinking that that'll be a good thing that, you know, I can just kind of grab it with whatever I'm going to grab for that day for fishing. Because, you know, otherwise you need 3 fish grippers, 1 in each different set, and 3, well, maybe not for crappie, but, you know, 3 pairs of pliers and 3 thises and 3 thatses. Anyway, we're going to see how well it works. It seems like a good idea at the time. That time being now. And before anybody reminds me that most of the stuff on Temu is crap, yeah, okay, and? It's cheap. We know it's cheap. We know we're taking a gamble. Sometimes you strike gold, sometimes you don't. And they have a really good return policy. Depending on the value of what you're returning, a lot of times they'll tell you, just keep it. Throw it away, do what you want with it, but don't send it back because it costs us too much money to have it sent back. Now, if it's something expensive, like these rod holders, $60, they want those back. But like the 2-packer rod holders that I bought for my kayak and found out that I ran too much of a risk of losing rods with them, they wanted those back. I kind of wanted to keep the extenders, but the extensions would have been nice to have because I still got some of the other rod holders that I bought because I had bought others that didn't have the extenders on them previously. And I'd liked them because I'd never really tested them. You know, they seemed okay. And I think I'll probably still use them on the kayak for staging rods as opposed to the rod holders that, you know, are built in the kayak that kind of stand mostly straight up. That way I can angle them backwards. But I would not put a catfish rod in those or anything that I was trolling with. Because I was just trying to show that the ratchet wasn't that good on them. The ratcheting mechanism broke one, and then I went to show the ratcheting mechanism failing again and broke a second one. It's like, Jesus. Now I was putting force on them, but that was also the purpose of the test, right? I think I had 3 pieces of shrimp and they got 2 of them off of me already. I'm telling you, these little guys are some thieving boogers. And while it's bad with the salted shrimp, with just fresh shrimp, oh my goodness, they peck those things off like there's no tomorrow, and they come off so easy. can feel something down there pecking on it real lightly. Move it over a little bit. I'd like to catch at least one bigger pinfish that I could use on a double hook rig. I'm not sure what would eat it though. Because a lot of the fish that I'm targeting or hoping to catch might be a better. Okay, everybody hear me okay? Say yes, say no, say something. Uh-oh. I hope y'all can see. Left rod's going off. Oh, we got us a fish. And would you believe? Hardhead number 4, and this one's going off now. There's hardhead number 4. Okay, settle. 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 Like you got to get that second rod because it's got something on it too. A definite double. All right, hardhead 4, bye. Did not mean to yeet him like that. This one definitely has a fish on it too. Well, it definitely felt like it had a fish on it. It did not have a fish on it because the hook turned back into the fish. Gosh, dog it. Which is very similar to a dag nabbit. Okay, so yeah. So we're definitely back. So that was hardhead number 4. Go back. Gosh. Sorry. Oh, that wasn't. It was just the watching one anyway. Oh yeah. That is what is left of the head. No, sorry. That was a whole. That one that was over to the left was a whole pinfish. So it's going back out now with a filet-o pinfish. Boneless fillet. I'm not sure that made it out with bait on it. It did not. Go get another filet-o pinfish. So I had hardhead number 4, and then I had another. That's twice I've hit the roof of this darn thing because I'm casting the wrong way. Use the other way. The other one had a nice takedown. Thought I had a fish on it. but the hook had turned back into the bait. So I missed that one. Just to go over the rigs for everybody. These two rods are both anvils, extra heavies, catfishing rods. They both have the PC Fun Alios 400. Bait casters is a low profile bait caster, but in a 400 size holds a good amount of line for catfishing. And they have bait clickers, which is very nice. The two in the center are combos. They're the Spinfisher 6 by Penn. In the 6500 size, they're live liners, so they have the rear drag on them as well as the front drag. So they effectively clickers, but they're not very loud. Throw my pinfish back in the water. There is water in the bucket, but this way water gets rinsed out and stuff, and they get the ammonia out of there and all that stuff. And the left rod is a fillet of pinfish. The second rod is some piece of pinfish. I think it's a head and one slab. Third rod, I believe, is a head of a pinfish, and the fourth one is a live pinfish. Pinfish are like the bluegill of the sea. They're called pinfish because they have very spiky dorsal fins, and they will stab you. I've had 4 hardhead catfish, 1 small sand trout, and then the rest have been pinfish. Things I would like to catch while I'm out here: redfish, which is a red drum; black drum, which they call big uglies; sheep's head would be nice, but I'm not using the right bait for sheep's head. Whiting would be nice. Flounder would be nice. Shark would be nice. I don't know what else I could catch, but that's the thing about saltwater. There are so freaking many species of fish out here. And they are all strong because unless they can hide in a canal or somewhere, they are fighting the tide all day, every day. The waves come in, blow them around. They have to move back to where they were. So if they can find shelter, they'll take it. But they spend a whole lot of time treading water just to be where they are and moving back to where they just got pushed off. So they're stronger fighting fish than freshwater fish. I've not played with trout or muskies, so I really can't tell you how well they fight, because I know trout like to live in cold and often fast-moving water. But the ocean just doesn't give you a lot of places to hide. When surf fishing, they usually try to fish between the first and the second sandbar. And it's just the natural motion of the water that kind of, when you see the waves start breaking over, that's because they hit a sandbar, they got shallow, and that slowed down the water and the top, at the bottom, but not at the top. So that's what causes them to break over. At least that's how I'm going to explain it. And so those troughs between sandbars will often also, give them less violently moving water. So the bait likes to hide there, which means the predators like to come in and say, "Hey, how you feeling for dinner?" Need to make sure this phone is charging properly. %. It is not charging properly. So why are we not charging here, Bubba? Where's my other one? Let's see if I can change this out in time. I think it says it's charging. Let me turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Bluetooth's already off. Okay. If I lose you guys, that's the reason. This should be charged. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose you guys. Oh, wrong one. If I lose you, it's because of battery, and I will apologize. I usually don't have this problem. Not. And it stopped charging. I don't know if it's not communicating with the charger properly to let it know it's being used. Okay, now it shows it's still charging. Up, third rod. Fish on. And it feels like a catfish. Feels like a decent catfish, though. Maybe because it's spinning gear instead of casting. Yeah, definitely a catfish. Looks like a hardhead. Yep, another hardhead. So, hardhead number 5. Man, the belly on this guy. I mean, he's probably saying the same about me, but. All right, let me have my hook back. Thank you. Ouch! I didn't mean to my finger. There he is. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye. I'm going to lose you folks. You know what? There's one other way around it. And that means losing my microphone. All right. Not do what it's supposed to. We just had hard head number 5. I'm fighting battery right now. For some reason, the pass-through charging was not, it would start and then it would stop. So let me turn on Bluetooth here. Okay. In theory. Still charging about 4% now. Whew. Got down to 1% battery. Now I'm going to do this test from my other phone, so bear with me just a second. Testing. Okay. For whatever reason, does not want to use this microphone. It's connected. Hey Julie, thanks for joining. We've gotten 5 hardhead catfish. For some reason, YouTube does not want to use my Bluetooth microphone, which is why the wind noise is so bad. And with the wind noise is bad, can't imagine anybody wants to watch it. I'm going to try something. It probably won't work, but we'll give it a shot anyway, and I'm going to peel out of here and try to resume it. Okay, so I'm back. Get this back in place. What I don't understand is my DJI has passed through. Wireless microphone at all, which is kind of disgusting. It's okay, I've been live for a few hours now. I'll go get everything charged back up, do some testing indoors and all that kind of stuff, and see what happens. I want to thank everybody for watching. Oopsies. Get it out of my hand here. So, we're out in the intracoastal waterway off Pensacola. Uh-oh. Got to take down rod number 2. We ain't in it yet. Still down there playing with it. does have a circle hook on it, so, or not drag, but whatever I'm trying to say. The rear drag. So if he takes it, maybe he'll hook himself the easy way. I did miss him, but then I stopped and he came back and touched it a few times, so maybe he's still hungry. Oh! Hardhead number 6. Hardhead catfish number 6. Watch rod number 2 over just in case. So I talked about how these hardheads look a lot like cow cats. One thing's interesting about them, they got some big nostrils. Big nostrils. Every one of these is invisible. That's number 6 one. Actually, I think that's and they have all been full bellies. Miss that one again. We'll start getting ready to head in because I know that the wind noise is going on. The other thing I could do is I could just mute it. Let's see what I'm up to 12%. So I can mute it for a while and go back to my DJI. Oh, and there's another. Yes, sir. There we go, got it. I know it's going to be a another hardhead. I think he's number 7. There's another. Cute little guy. Yeah, they're not missing any meals out here. They've all had very firm bellies. And I'm not surprised to be oh, that's not good. I'm not surprised to be catching hardheads because with the water all churned up, from what I hear from the locals, that's what hardheads like. Well, maybe it's not the catfish like this, but the others don't. So they all go and do their thing and go, yeah. We'll go lay down till the weather gets better. water gets cleared. Yeah, it's been cheap for a while. So all of these have been off those number 5/0 offshore angler circle hooks that I've been using for some of my testing for line strength and knot strength. I'll let that one sit out there for a while. See if anything hits it. Got 10 people watching. Yeah, my mic is dead, Hitch. What I don't get, I think that was my 7th hard hit. So one of the things that was really important to me on a microphone is the ability for it to use pass-through charging. And I thought I had been using pass-through charging. I'm still not sure I haven't been. But for some reason today, it has not been charging when it's supposed to be. And I'll, if I turn the little battery pack on, back on, charge a couple of minutes, and it's like the DJI app then does a pop-up going, "Hey, I'm here." Whoopsies, hang on. That's not good. The DJI app will pop up and say, "Hey, do you want to connect to the microphone?" I'm like, well, regardless of what I say, it does it. And then stops charging. So I had to take the microphone off the receiver. So I've got the Bluetooth one paired to it, but it's not using that either. Sorry. So I've only got one rod out right now. Well, it does. I mean, it'll charge for a minute, but I don't know what's going on. It may be the battery banks that I've got. They're both the same. I have other battery banks, but not right here. And the only thing I have not gotten a hit on has been that live pinfish. The dead ones have gotten all the action today. Because if it does not have pass-through charging, I mean, that's a deal breaker for me. Because I have to have that, because otherwise you're limited to about 2 hours of live stream, as we found out. I caught it at 1%. And even just via Bluetooth, it should work fine. But it isn't. Still be able to charge and use Bluetooth, but the Bluetooth mic is on me and on, and it's not doing its thing. So I have to do some testing back at the house. I've been about to call it twice. And a fish yet. So I'm about to shut it down here in just a second. So fish, this is your last chance. Don't look like a fool on this thing. I know the wind noise is atrocious. Apologize maybe for echo for a second. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the quickest way for me to leave a live stream is to have a bunch of wind noise. So I know that nobody likes wind noise. Let me try one. This won't fix all of the issues. And one of the big issues is the fact that, you can't hear me if I'm not right in front of the phone. But in just a second. Tell me if the wind noise is any better now. Now the wind has picked up. Yeah, I put a little Doom Flicky over the bottom. Just a little bag, hoping that would do it, but no, it didn't do it. Alright, well. I believe it was 7. Hardhead catfish. Not really unexpected given that the weather, where the water's been churned up. But starting to get really windy out here. Microphone's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Actually, it's going to be needing to get picked up here in a bit. And probably get down and go grab some food while I'm at it. So thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate your time, energy, and all that fun stuff. I will be live a lot this week, just so you're aware. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.